we were talking about a story. I've had a client who came to me because they had very limited range of motion in their groin area, inner thigh. They could barely move their leg outwards. It would cause a great deal of pain. And through uncovering work, we realized that that pain and that limitation had a lot to do with some prior experiences as a child. And so we were able to really go back to those experiences. And what came out of it was that life is very limited. There was a death in her family with a relative that she was very close to. And no one explained to her how this happened or why he died. They just really dismissed her, and all of her feelings, and and it proved to her or showed her in that moment that life is very limiting, and it's not really safe to extend yourself in so many ways. And so she held all of this grief and all of this limitation in her groin area, in her hips.
We have a book at the store. It's called Your Body Believes Every Word That You Say by Barbara Huberman Levine. And this is such exactly perfect evidence of that. That's just... It's amazing. It's amazing, yeah.
And so by going back and uncovering, she realized that she made that decision for a protective reason, to really be safe, and not only in her family but also in the world, and realize that she no longer needed to hold that belief system. And by allowing that belief system to have a different outcome, a different story, we then began to send energy into the groin area. And as I did, her legs started opening up more and clicking. And it was movement that she hadn't felt in 25, 30 years. And we just continued to work throughout the session, and it got to the point to where she could lay flat on her back and open her leg fully and have it touch the side of the table. And she was just in awe. She was amazed. And for me, the amazing part was her allowing herself to really expand her consciousness around her own limitations. And in that moment, there were no limitations for her, and so that's where all of that opening and expansiveness came for her. And so it was phenomenal to be a witness to that, again, to be a part of this process, and to really realize the gratitude and the powerful ability we all have
to heal.
To heal our own process. It's just so powerful.
And what's cool about that story in particular is that if once you change that story about life is limiting and change it to it's limitless, it's expansive, whatever that is, as long as you keep choosing that new thought, then there's no turning back.
And that's the experience you have.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's amazing.
In the blink of an eye.
In the blink of an eye.
In the blink of an eye. Yeah, that's so cool.
And what I've really learned, the biggest piece for me, and I use this in my life, is that I practice every day what I want to be, how I want to feel, how I think of my health. I practice it. Before, I didn't know this, but whether I realize it or not, I'm always practicing something. whether it's positive and moves me forward, or whether it's perceived negative and holds me back. Regardless, I'm practicing whatever it is.
Right.
If I don't believe in myself, I'm practicing on a daily basis not believing in myself. And so because of that practice, anything and most things that we practice at, we become very proficient with.
And then we get so comfortable with it.
And we get comfortable.
It just gets easier and easier, even if it doesn't serve us.
Exactly. Because it's what we're practicing.
I'm glad you brought that up. And years ago, when I first got started in this work, I really noticed that I was practicing all the time, So I wrote on my wall, in big giant letters I painted across the wall, deliberate thought. So that every time I walked in the room, I realized that whatever I was practicing in the moment was what I was getting.
Yeah, and that's how it works. I mean, that's how the universe, that's how the process works. It's been working that way. Whatever you think is what is.
Exactly. And some people think that's so difficult, and what am I going to do about that? Well, just think about something else.
Right.
Use your imagination to think about something else, create a new story. And, at the beginning, it doesn't even have to be real.
Exactly.
A lot of times to change, when I think, what can I think about that feels better than this? I'll put myself on Planet Mitch, and I'm flying on dragons, and I'm, having a really good time. And,
Right.
and I'm getting that good feeling. And once I have that good feeling from that place, I call it the transition thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Once I'm feeling good and I have happy thoughts, then I could start thinking, okay, now what do I want?
Right.
And energetically, I could put my attention into that, because I know a lot of times, and this is an I statement because I know I've done this, where I'm asking for what I want from a place of lack.
Yes.
I really want more money because I feel so broke.
Right.
And that's not getting me anywhere.
No.
So I use those transition thoughts. What can I think about that feels better? And then once I feel good, go right to practicing what I
Right.
want instead.
Right.
It's really cool. So, is there a way to get in touch with you? Like, if people want more information?
Yeah, you can email me, rickbastine at comcast.net. Website is www.integrativeholistic.healing.com. Also have an office at 826 Camino de Monterrey, Suite B2, and that's at the Integrative Holistic Healing Center.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So you could email him, you can check out his website, or you can come
You
visit.
can come visit.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate this. This has been such a great interview. Is there anything that you'd like to say to just sort of tidy all this up and put it in a nice, neat little package for everybody?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that for those who are looking to transform their lives, transformation is the art of practice. So, if you really want to transform your life and your experience, you can do it, and it just takes practice.
It's a skill, just like
It's a
anything
skill.
else.
Yeah.
People don't go up to the top of the mountain with their brand new snowboard and expect to go zooming down the mountain
Right.
the first time. They're
doesn't
willing to
work
put
that way.
years into practice skiing.
Exactly.
So put in, I tell people like 20 minutes twice a day of practicing
Yeah.
will be a really good start.
Yeah,
So,
and as
excellent.
with practice, what I find practice does is it removes the pressure. Because after all you're doing is practicing. It's no big deal. So take that pressure, give yourself the opportunity to remove the pressure, and just practice.
Excellent. That's a great way to end the show. So I really appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you,
so
Mitch.
much for coming on the show.
My
This
pleasure,
is really
my honor.
wonderful. And again,
Really
I'll
awesome.
put all that information up across the screen so people can get in touch with you.
Great.
And you all have a wonderful evening. And again, I'm going to say this one more time on the show. Ask yourself, what if this stuff really does work? And give it a shot.
does.
It's really amazing. It's all about energy, moving and shifting energies.
It's all about energy. Everything is energy, sound, light, and vibration.
It's true. So enjoy your energy. Have
Enjoy.
a great evening.
Namaste.
Thanks.
Mitch and I love talking about all of these different subjects, and believe it or not, we're trained in them as well. So if you have any questions, would like to learn more about what we do, or just want to chat about some like-minded situations, come on down to the Mind Over Matter bookstore. We're located on the historic Santa Fe Plaza in the Santa Fe Arcade. Or you can email us by going to our website at itsyourmindthatmatters.com. Our phone numbers are on there too, and guess what? If you call us, you actually get us, and we'd be happy to talk to you, answer questions, or just have a good time chatting. Thanks.